Bess, one of the key concerns, especially when it comes to this particular shooting, is that it's going to discourage more people from the revival of New York City that you were just discussing. I'm curious, though, about perhaps the other deterrent when it comes to the revival of New York City, and that, of course, is rising rates at a time when we've had about 2 years of a pretty decent housing boom coming on the backs of the pandemic. Talk to us a little bit about the future of housing, not just in New York City, but across the country.
Well, yeah, rates will certainly have an impact. We could see a little bit of a slowing down. We've seen that already in other regions because of a lack of supply. In places like Connecticut and in Florida, we've seen a little bit of a slowing down, and rates are ticking up, and inflation, as you were talking about in your earlier segment. And so we may see a slowing down of discretionary spending, but the housing market, in my view, continues to boom. People continue to buy and believe in the home buying process. So we'll have to see what happens, for example, with the war that Russia waged against Ukraine, how that will play out. We see gas prices going up. We have no more peace dividend, which is unfortunate. And so we're just going to have to see. I think there is nervous energy. We see the stock market doing a little bit of the cha-cha. It's a little volatile. And so we're going to have to see how everything plays out for us.
When you think about New York City, it is in competition with other cities. How is it stacking up as a competitive place to come to bring people into? People have left. Maybe they're coming back, as you say. The market looks pretty solid right now. But as people think about what is happening in the city and they describe and they see the scenes that you described as well, do you think they're looking at other options? Are other cities more competitive right now?
There is no other option, to New York City. I mean, obviously, I'm biased. I'm raising kids here. I live here. I'm a New Yorker, tried and true. But New York, look, you have Microsoft, Google, Disney opening up these huge office spaces. People are here. Try getting a reservation in restaurants. They're packed. Theaters open. I don't think, listen, there's always competition, but we are our own competition. We need to improve our city for ourselves. And we want tourism to be, revived. I think Mayor Adams has a lot on his plate, and Governor Hochul. They have a lot to do. But I think if they work together and make safety a priority and get people back to work, I think our city will be in the #1 spot. That's, my biased opinion.
Bess, let's talk about the other issue plaguing markets, plaguing the economy. And that, of course, is the war in Ukraine and Eastern Europe in particular. But that's also something that a lot of people are saying perhaps the United States is a little bit more insulated from. Is there a connection between the war in Ukraine and the real estate story here in the States?
It's a great question, and I've thought about that. I think on a humanitarian level, people are upset, concerned. We raised, as a firm, more than $50,000 for the International Rescue Committee. I think people are upset about what they're seeing. How it will impact real estate is hard to tell. We see, except for inflation, we don't know. And I think Putin obviously miscalculated when he started this. And I think nobody realized or understood that Zelensky was going to be this icon of liberty and courage and freedom, and that Zelensky, his courage was going to be contagious with his people. And so, I don't know. I think it seems like it's so far away from here and people don't really connect it to real estate. How it will impact us we'll have to see. I do think maybe discretionary spending, that is the one place where people may pause and wait before they do something.